This is the Utuado Uprising. Before we go on, are there any other stories about the history of Puerto Rico that you'd like to hear? Drop them in the comments for me. This story was suggested to me a while back and was further down the list than it really should have been, and was unfortunately pushed aside, much like Puerto Rico has always been. Puerto Rico had been under U.S. rule for over 50 years, despite being labeled U.S. citizens in 1917, conveniently allowing them to be drafted into World War I. They had no real political power, no presidential vote, and no sovereignty. Many citizens on the island desperately wanted independence, but the U.S. was not letting go of the firm grip that she had on this small tropical paradise. So on October 30th, 1950, the Nationalist Party, led by Pedro Albizu Campos, said, "Enough," and launched a full-scale revolt. That night, a group of about 32 armed nationalists took over the town of Utuado, attacking the local police station in an attempt to seize control. The police fought back, and after a shootout, the nationalists retreated to a house in a rural area outside of town. But then, the U.S. struck back. Hard. The Puerto Rico National Guard, under the control of the U.S. government, deployed P-47 Thunderbolt fighter planes to strafe the town with machine gun fire and drop bombs on U.S. citizens. This was one of the first times the military ever used airstrikes against its own people. The surviving rebels surrendered and were captured by local police with the idea that they would become prisoners of war. That night, though, they were taken outside, lined up against a wall, and executed at point-blank range. One of the victims was Antonio Gonzalez, a young man who miraculously survived despite being riddled with bullets. Bleeding out, he played dead until help arrived. His survival is the only reason we have a first-hand account of what happened that night. The U.S. government, eager to silence resistance, declared martial law and arrested over 3,000 Puerto Ricans. Pedro Albizu Campos, the leader of the nationalist movement, was arrested and sentenced to prison, where he was subjected to radiation experiments, a fact that was later confirmed by declassified documents. The U.S. media downplayed the event, calling it a police action against a few troublemakers. In reality, it was a brutal crackdown on Puerto Rican independence fighters and an attempt to permanently crush any talk of liberation. The U.S. has spent decades erasing, downplaying, and rewriting Puerto Rican history to justify its continued control over the island. The Utuado Uprising should be as well known as any other act of state violence, but it has been completely buried. But Puerto Ricans, they don't forget. Utuado became a symbol of the fight for independence and the brutal costs of resisting colonial rule. Their story deserved to be told and remembered because history erased is history repeated.